So what's happening in our world right now? Because there is a lot of news that actually is relevant that's not that
Here's
uplifting.
the thing. It's not our world.
None
That's
of this
the
is
key.
real?
Nope.
So you're just passing
We don't
through.
matter. We don't matter.
Oh, wow.
There's the good news.
By the way, I'll just get out of. Jim Carrey called me up last week. I talked to him for 5.5 hours. He's like begging me to like get a deal with Q. That's it. You're gonna die. If you ate, you're gonna die. You can't get over that. That's a death sentence.
I'm here tonight to blow the lid off it, to be the whistleblower.
He's acting and looking very different. Did the Illuminati finally get their loudest whistleblower and clone him, thus silencing him? This is like 2 conspiracy theories in one, so here's everything you need to know.
Wait a second. Did the industry actually clone Jim Carrey's girl? After all those years of Jim calling out the dark side of Hollywood, he vanished, only to pop back up right in the middle of the Epstein chaos, looking and sounding like a totally different man. His face looks off, his eyes are a new color, and even his voice feels strange. Something's not adding up. What's even crazier is that he's now backpedaling on everything he used to say. People have been bringing up his name nonstop since the Epstein story started blowing up, and suddenly, boom, he reappears, acting like none of it ever happened. That timing feels way too convenient to ignore.
Neil Armstrong guy. Have you seen him on the talk shows?
Neil Armstrong, you mean the first man to walk on the moon?
Talk about a fish story.
Yeah.
Man, and they're buying it.
Oh, yeah.
And get this, Kanye West of all people is dropping receipts, claiming that this new Jim Carrey isn't who we think he is. Fans online are losing it, saying he's been swapped out. In case you missed what's going down, rumors about Jim Carrey being cloned exploded after his appearance at the 51st Caesar Awards in Paris a few days back. Everyone was stunned because the man on stage looked nothing like the Jim Carrey we grew up with.
Kidnapping children is not what great nations do. We in America are misinformed. Reality shows have warped our idea of what a hero is, or what the truth is.
His hair color, his face shape, everything seems off. Like someone tried to rebuild him but didn't quite get the blueprint right. Now, conspiracy theorists are screaming that the real Jim Carrey was replaced years ago, and that's the reason he's been missing from the spotlight for so long. Something definitely feels strange about this comeback. So get this, those Epstein emails that leaked, there's supposedly one that straight up talks about cloning people, and another one allegedly claims that Biden died a long time ago, and that the current one we're seeing is just a stand-in. Wild, right? People online are convinced that while Jim Carrey was off the radar, he got replaced with a clone version of himself. Now, I'm not even gonna lie. Years back, if someone had told me all these wild Hollywood theories, I'd have laughed it off and kept scrolling. But after those Epstein files dropped and started connecting all kinds of dots, people aren't brushing this stuff off so easily anymore. It's got folks wondering if some of these crazy theories might not be so crazy after all. Even Jim Carrey himself once tried to warn everyone about what was going on behind the scenes. He got labeled insane, dragged in the media, and suddenly, boom, he disappears. Then out of nowhere, this version of him shows up, looking and sounding like a totally different person. Come on now, that's way too suspicious. And let's not forget, the industry has been trying to silence Jim for years, ever since he started calling out the so-called Illuminati. Remember that iconic Jimmy Kimmel interview? Jim walked in making the Illuminati hand signs, flat out calling Jimmy out on live TV. Jimmy tried to laugh it off and act clueless, but Jim wasn't backing down one bit. That moment had everyone talking, and now looking back, it feels even more chilling. Not long after Jim Carrey started speaking out, tragedy struck. His girlfriend passed away, and that timing had people side-eyeing the whole situation. And if you think that's the craziest part, just wait till you hear what went down next.
So people now think that Jim Carrey has been replaced with a clone after seeing this interview.
My favorite funny face is the one I'm wearing right now.
The face you're wearing right now?
What do you mean by that?
Now, that's just one clip from this 2-minute interview, but I will say, when you watch it with the idea of he's been replaced, there are moments in it where you're like, What do you mean by that?
I'm dead.
And here's the thing, he's in Paris receiving this honorary Caesar Award for basically his entire career and his impact on comedy and film. He's being honored for 50 plus years of his life. You could tell he's emotional, he's talking about his dad, it's sentimental, but we've never seen him like this, or at least I haven't. Anytime I've seen a clip of him, an interview, a movie, he's always like off the wall, this wacky personality. So you see him in this like sedated, calm manner and you're like, that's not Jim Carrey. And I don't believe in the clone conspiracies, but even when I'm watching this interview, I'm like, did this dude get lobotomized? Like, why is he so sedated right now? So while I say that I don't believe in the clone conspiracies, I'm not gonna say that something isn't up with Jim Carrey because crazier things have been proven right.
During his 2018 BAFTA Awards acceptance speech, Jim shocked everyone in the room. He got up on that stage and basically accused the crowd of doing some extremely dark, ritualistic stuff behind closed doors. People were frozen in their seats and the cameras didn't even know where to pan. Folks are replaying that moment, and realizing maybe he wasn't as crazy as they made him seem. With all the things that came out in those Epstein documents, people are starting to say Jim might have been telling the truth all along. And when it comes to these cloning rumors, here's what's being whispered. The reason certain celebrities get replaced is because clones are easier to control. From Jamie Foxx to Gucci Mane to Britney Spears, fans have been pointing out changes in their looks, their behavior, even their voices. It's become a whole trend of people spotting supposed doubles. That's why Kanye West says he believes Jim was cloned too. He's convinced that the ones who get replaced are the ones who refuse to play by the industry's rules. And allegedly, Kanye even came close to being swapped himself. But he caught on early and exposed the person who was supposed to be behind it. He says that's what saved him from getting replaced. Kanye once dropped a chilling post online, a screenshot of a message he said came from Harley Pasternak. The message didn't just sound controlling, it straight up felt threatening. It read, "I'm going to help you in one of a couple ways. First, you and I sit down and have a loving and open conversation, but you don't use curse words, and everything that is discussed is based on fact, and not some crazy stuff that a dumb friend of yours told you or you saw in a tweet. Second option, I have you institutionalized again, where they medicate the crap out of you and you go back to zombie land forever. Play date with the kids just won't be the same."
No, they eat babies. That is not bullshit. It's true.
So it's not just the dogs and the cats, not just the pets.
It's not just the dogs and the cats. They're full-on vampires. And everybody still thinks I'm crazy, but I'm not crazy. They're full-on vampires. They love the taste of human and they drink human blood. They do it. They say you can't wake people up that are pretending to be asleep, but I pray to God, please wake up even those who are pretending to be asleep with the irrefutable truth of what the worst people on this planet are really up to. They are really up to that. They're doing it. There are so many victims.
That part about institutionalized again hit hard. Because remember, back in 2016, Kanye was suddenly taken in for a mental evaluation without his consent. The way it all went down was sketchy too. It allegedly happened right near Harley Pasternak's house. Fans have never stopped questioning that incident because it felt more like a setup than a medical emergency. People online have been saying this is exactly what happens when a celebrity starts speaking out against the system. They either get silenced, discredited, or sent away for treatment. And in Jim Carrey's case, it's giving the same eerie energy. Folks are convinced the industry might have done something similar to him, possibly even using that as a cover to replace him. But since Kanye brought attention to what really happens behind those closed doors, trying to pull that move again would have raised way too many alarms. And now, all the things Jim once said about Hollywood's hidden side, they're resurfacing big time. Once those clone rumors about Jim Carrey started spreading, people online began digging deep. They started connecting his past statements to all the strange stuff that's been exposed lately. And baby, the receipts are wild. The first clue that had everyone talking was a chilling old video of the now missing model Gabriela Rico. In the clip, Gabriela is crying hysterically and speaking Spanish, but the translation sent shockwaves across social media. She was claiming she had seen unbelievably dark things happen at a Hollywood party she attended. From the way she spoke, it was clear she was terrified. She said she saw celebrities doing horrifying things that no one would ever imagine. It looked like she ran out of that party in panic, begging for help, but nobody took her seriously. People nearby just stared like they didn't even understand the danger she was in. And here's where it gets even more disturbing. Right after that video hit the internet, Gabriella vanished, completely gone. The clip first surfaced back in 2009, and to this very day, she's still missing. That fact alone keeps this story alive, because it feels like someone made sure she couldn't speak again. And if that wasn't enough, another eerie video started resurfacing, this time featuring author Barbara Marx.
Coming. What is that? Is that a gang sign? Have you,
Oh, like you don't know what it is. You don't know what that is.
In an interview, she allegedly slipped up and mentioned something shockingly similar to what Gabriella had been talking about. Her PR team quickly tried to spin it off as a mistake, but people aren't buying that excuse. It's giving major cover-up energy. But seriously, you need to see that video for yourself and decide if that sounded like a simple slip-up. Because once you watch it, you'll realize it didn't seem accidental at all. And then came Roseanne Barr, the actress who didn't hold back either. She flat out called out Hollywood and accused certain big-name stars of being involved in the same disturbing behavior people have been whispering about. She wasn't scared to say what others wouldn't, and that's exactly why folks say she got blacklisted. When you add up all these accusations, and remember what was proven about the twisted things happening on Epstein's Island, it starts looking way too real to ignore. Everyone can't be making up the same exact story. There's clearly a pattern here, and pretending it's not happening doesn't make it go away. And as for Jim Carrey, something is definitely off. The man we're seeing today just doesn't seem like the Jim Carrey we all knew for years. His expressions, his energy, even the way he moves. It's like a totally different person stepped into his shoes. If what Kanye claimed about cloning is even halfway true, then who knows how deep this rabbit hole goes. Maybe those wild stories about Gucci Mane being cloned weren't as far-fetched as people thought. Fans have been comparing old and new photos, pointing out every difference, and one person even said, "It's obvious, something's not the same anymore." It's wild out here. People are convinced the cloning list keeps getting longer by the day. They're saying Kanye, Jim Carrey, Ariana Grande, and even Britney Spears might have been replaced. That's a whole lineup of major stars supposedly walking around as copies of their original selves. One fan even said, Jim Carrey was never into facelifts or Botox. That right there is the first red flag. They went on to say that the real Jim was always deep, spiritual, and more connected to his higher self than most people could ever understand. So seeing this new version acting totally different? Yeah, fans aren't buying it. One even claimed, "I've been a fan too long not to notice. That's either a mask or a clone." Now, here's where it gets even more intense. Kanye West jumping into the mix and basically confirming the clone talk. That sent the internet into a frenzy, with everyone debating whether he's telling the truth or just stirring the pot. But honestly, when it comes to Kanye, anything he touches turns controversial fast. So what do you think? Could Jim Carrey really have been cloned, or is this all just wild speculation? Drop your thoughts in the comments and make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more of this chaos, because this story is far from over.